Now then guys, how you doing? Craig here and thank you for joining me again as this time we try to rebuild Monaco. Now PSG obviously the dominant force of the French league, you know, Farmers League as everybody calls it, but Monaco, they should be absolutely rolling in it. An island full of riches and they just cannot topple PSG. So today's rebuild, as always, 5 seasons to hopefully topple PSG and do something in Europe, if I'm completely honest. As it hasn't been too long since Monaco won the league, what, 5 years ago now? I think it was 2016-17 that they ended up being League 1 champions, and it's all about doing it again. And if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe as there's plenty more rebuilds coming throughout this FM22 cycle. And we've already done some in the past, so if you are new to them, give them a check out. And if you are a regular viewer, thank you very much for your support as the growth on this channel has been absolutely mental over the last 6 months. So yes, thank you very much. Let's get into the rebuild. Right then guys, so here we go, big stuff coming as it's day one in Monaco, and first of all I just want to show you like where we won the league. So we won the league in 2016-17, we then had a second place finish, but then down in 17th place. We managed to pull ourselves back into 9th, and last season they finished in 3rd place. Obviously that was a season that PSG finished 2nd and Lille won the league, so there's an opportunity there to topple PSG. It was done last season, but we need to do it again. So when we look at the finances, because that's the big thing, the rebuild is all about the finances. We've currently got £12 million in the transfer budget. Overall balance though is looking decent at £115 million. Wage budget, we've got £1 million to spend, and we're spending that as well. You know, we've got 500k to play with, which isn't ideal. Club vision now, what is the team's expectation of us? So the club culture is to sign high reputation players, so they want us to spend some dollar and really improve the squad. Develop players using the club youth system and sign players under the age of 22 for the future. We can go with that. The 5-year plan is to sign players to sell for a profit, so they're going for a bit of a money ball approach here. Sign young players to develop for a profit as well and work within the wage budget. End of the current season then is to reach the first knockout round of the Champions League. We need to do that as a minimum. To qualify for the Europa Champions League again in League 1. So they want basically, what is it, a top 2 finish I think gets Champions League football in this one. We'll have a look shortly. In the French Cup, they want us to reach the semi-final as a minimum and become recognised as the best of the rest. Going forward then, they want us to just continue being best of the rest. Fair enough. So let's just have a look at those rules then. So for the top 3 teams, that's how you get into the Champions League. I'll take that. So first and second automatically go into the group stages. 3rd place goes into the qualifying round. I'll take that. So top 3 finish gets us Champions League football. So they spoke about the development centre, and it looks like we've got some decent players here. Elliot Matarazzo is one of the up-and-coming stars. Currently valued 500k to 2.7 million. Potential ability is 4.5 star. Looks decent. A central midfielder, 19-year-old Belgian. Where did he come from? Anderlecht on a free transfer. Did actually play 10 times for Monaco last season. So with that in mind, I think for this guy, let's promote him to the senior squad. Let's have him in and about the squad. Hopefully develop him. Valentin de Carpentry. Is that how you pronounce his name? Probably. Not a fan of him. Apparently he's one of the best players as well. Christian Matsima, decent centre-back. Heading, mark and tackling, all okay for a 19-year-old Frenchman. Again, let's promote him to the senior squad. Even if he doesn't feature, being around the first team squad can only help develop him. So team cohesion and his poor as the players have not yet developed a good level of understanding. Club atmosphere is good and managerial support is average. What about top influencers then? Anybody oppose us so far? No. I've only got 3 players as supporters then, and none of them are influential players. 22 players have no real opinion of us. I suppose I should be happy with that. Ben Yedder is the captain with the Sarzi the vice captain. And squad depth-wise, how we looking? Check out this. We're going to be playing a Segunde Volante, apparently. That's the formation that's preloaded, as Ben Yedder and Bodu are the best players up front. Volland there as well. So we've got 3 quality strikers for the league anyway. Playing out on the left-hand side, Bodu, Martins, Golovin. And out on the other side is exactly the same. Volland in there as well. In the midfield, Golovin's the best player at 3.5 star. Playing in a defensive midfield role. Fofana, really. But we need to improve in that area. If that's the way we're going to play with it. Defensive left and defensive right isn't great. In fairness, my back 4 doesn't look decent at all. Badishahil in there is a real quality player, 20-year-old Frenchman, one to watch. And in goal, we don't look much better with Nubel and Majeki. So looking at the tactic, that is the way we set up. That's probably not how we're going to play, guys. I will play 2 up top. I'm not sure about playing a Volante in the middle. Probably not the way I'm going to go. We'll look at how we develop the squad throughout the summer transfer window before we do anything. But yeah, that doesn't look ideal at all. And then squad-wise, let's just have a look at those wages. So Cesc Fabregas, 34-year-old, is on 120k per week. He's got to be ready to retire. His contract expires at the end of this season as well, so I don't think we'll see anything else of him. And transfer value, who's my highest valued player? Myron Boadu is valued up to 61 to 72 million pounds. Any good? 20-year-old. He's okay. Acceleration and pace very fast. Been capped once by Holland and he scored in that game as well. Finishing 13, composure 13. I think if we play him, I think if he gets plenty of game time this season, this guy will be a world beater. Scored plenty of goals for AZ though. 15 in the last season, 14 the season before. So he is a goal scorer, and that's the big thing. So there we go then, guys. Introduction to the squad. What we're going to do is we're going to move forward to the start of Season 1, where hopefully we've had a productive transfer window, and we're in a much better place come the start of the season. Right then, guys, so that's Season 1 transfer window down, and we're now on our first game of the season, which is against Nantes. But I haven't really improved the team, if I'm honest. There's no massive rebuild required, as I think they've got a decent depth to the squad of Monaco. They've got some real quality youngsters, one or two older players, but they're still quality in themselves. So let's just have a look at the finances first of all. So I've got 573,000 left, and I'm just spending over the wage budget. 929k I'm spending, when we've got 927k to spend, so not too bad. Overall balance is £95 million as well. And looking at the players that have left us then, so Cesc Fabregas has gone off to Lokomotiv Moscow, and that was solely because of his wages. His wages were far too high for the club, so I let him go. Now, I managed to get some money for him, unbelievably, 425k for a player that only had one season left with us. Yes, we did spend £8 million on him from Chelsea, but like I say, to get his wages off the books, fantastic. Pele has left us. Now, not the Pele, obviously. This is the Make-A-Wish Pele that's gone. He has gone off to Dijon for 500k. Played 3 times already, got 2 assists. So he's not a bad player, he's just not Ligue 1 material. So yeah, 500k we got for him. And then coming in, the only player that I've brought in is Altay Bayindir, the 23-year-old Turkish international cat one-time goalkeeper. Now, I wanted to improve in goal, and I wanted a goalkeeper that was going to be with us until the end of the save, and I think this guy's going to do it. So 7.5 million we spend from Fenerbahce. Yes, big money, all of my transfer kitty, but goalkeeping attributes, fantastic. Aerial read 16, one-on-one 17, reflexes 17. He's 6'6" as well, so he's a big old goalkeeper, and a 23-year-old is going to improve massively. So looking at the squad dynamics then, team cohesion's average, club atmosphere is very good, managerial support's good. I've got players that are concerned more because I fined them for poor conduct. And then when we have a look at the players and supporters, I've got 4 players and supporters now, 18 players that have no real opinion of us. I've only got 1 team leader, and that's Ben Yedder. And then looking at the tactic for the squad that we've got, I'm going to play a 4-2-4. As I think against the other teams in the league, we just need to try and score one more than them. You know, defensively we might not be solid, but I want to play entertaining football. I want lots of goals. There's only really PSG, in my opinion. Maybe Lille. I don't think they're going to do it this season, but there's a couple of teams that may cause us problems. We should be able to get past everybody else. So looking at my starting 11 then, I've got Altay in goal, Henrique, Badiashile, Dassisi and Aguilar at the back, with Golovin and Chouameni in the midfield, Diatta and Martins out wide, with Boadu and Ben Yedder up front. There's plenty of options there. Like I said, the squad depth is very good, so I've got loads of options should I need them. And there's a lot of youngsters in the team. When we have a look at the squad and the average age of these players, my oldest player is Ben Yedder at 30, Sidibe at 29 and Volland at 29. They're me 3 that if we get this season, probably get some decent money for them. And these guys are only going to improve in value. Like I say, transfer value, Chouameni is valued 69 to 91 million pounds, so big money there. Altay Bayindir, the player that I've just brought in, 53 million to 58 million for a player that I've just spent 17 million pounds on, so that is quality. Looking at the squad depth then, we're fine up top. It was these defensive left and right positions. Outright, I could still improve there. Goalkeeping wise, obviously Bayindir coming in. That is that 4-2-4, very attacking, gonna go for it. So looking at the season preview then, we are expected a second place finish 9-1. And we've got 1 player in the Media Dream 11, Ben Yedder. The other 10 players are from PSG. That doesn't surprise us. You know, PSG will be a team that I'm potentially going to try and poach players from as this rebuild goes on. Mbappe is gone at the end of the season. Don't expect to see him join us in Season 2. That's just not going to happen. It would be great if he rejoined us, but there's absolutely no chance that I can put up with his wage demand. So yes, PSG favourites to win the league again. Ourselves in second, and then Lyon in third, 20-1. So there we go. So that is it then, guys. The first transfer window, not a lot happened. Getting Cesc Fabregas' wages off the books was massive to start with, and we've improved in that goalkeeping option. So there we go. What we're going to do forward now is we're going to simulate to the end of Season 1. Well, hopefully we're in the top 3. We're getting Champions League football next season, and we go again. Right then, guys, so the end of Season 1, and we've ended up finishing in second place, 90 points on the board, 14 points behind PSG. As expected, PSG have ran away with it. 104 points though for PSG. That's not ideal if I'm completely honest. As we have a look at the league table, PSG didn't actually lose a game, so they played 38 games, won 33 and drew 5. We played 38, won 28, drew 6 and lost 4. 4 defeats this season. Who did we lose to? 4-2 to Lille. We lost 1-0 to PSG, 2-1 to Marseille, and a 2-1 defeat to Lorient as well. We did score 118 goals though, which looks like it was the best for the league, but we conceded 44, far too many. A goal difference of plus 74, 90 points on the board, finishing 24 points clear of Marseille in third place as well. That's a big gap, that is. Considering like the gap between us and PSG, the gap between second to third place is much bigger. Past positions wise then, we've basically sat in second place for the majority of the season. I'm assuming obviously PSG have just sat top from match day 1 with a 5-0 victory over Strasbourg, and they went top and we just couldn't catch them. So there you go, top 2 for the majority of the season. Competitions wise then, like I say, second place finish in Ligue 1. We were knocked out of the quarterfinals of the Champions League by Chelsea. Not bad, getting to the quarterfinals first time round. I'll take that. But we did win the French Cup. How did we get on there? A 2-0 victory against Lorient. And when we look at the tactic, you can see 18 shots, 7 on target, 53% possession. Golovin with a goal on 16 and another on 46. So 2 for him coming from midfield, an 8.7 rating. Decent ratings basically from our midfield back. So overall a good performance. Looking at our finances, then we've got £87 million to play with this season. This transfer window is going to be mega with that amount of money. Wage budget, we've just got over £1 million and we're currently spending 918k. Overall balance 140 million, so we're in a similar position to where we started this save. And then when we look at squad dynamics, team cohesion is excellent, club atmosphere is average, and managerial support is very good. So we're doing all right. We've got plenty of team issues. Lots of players want new contracts. We can sort that out obviously to match their ability. That's what I'm being told. So we've got 10 players that have no real opinion of us, 11 players support us, but nobody opposes us, and that's the main thing. So when we look at the player stats wise, then a top goal scorer was Wissam Ben Yedder. 36 goals this season. 28 in 23 games in the league. What an absolute boy. Was he the top goal scorer in the league? Let's have a look. So he was. So the top 2 goal scorers in the league, Ben Yedder and Bodou, both with 28 goals apiece. Moussa Dembele on there with 28 as well. So top 2 goal scorers in the league. Kylian Mbappe only managed 25. So he scored plenty of goals. Golovin got 20 assists. That was the highest in the league as well, with Volland getting 11 and Henrique as well. You know, we were highest for plenty of things there. Most shots, Bodou with 169. Most key passes, 169 for Golovin. Most tackles won, Henrique with 113. Obviously the clean sheets and the fewest conceded, that's the bit that we've got to work on for next season. But getting back to those player stats, highest average rating Golovin with 7.63. Most assists was Golovin, as we've just seen, with 23. Best pass completion, Badashahil with 96%. I am butchering his name, I think, but that's how we're going to go with it. It's close enough, surely. Most player of the match awards was Ben Yedder with 8. And most yellow cards go to Ruben Aguilar with 19. Plenty of red cards though, nobody getting more than 1. When we look at the team stats, goals scored was 118, which was the best. 44 goals conceded though, which was the 4th best in the league. Yellow cards wise, we got 78, which was the 4th worst. And red cards, we got 2, which was the 9th worst. Average attendance though, 8,000, which is the worst in the league. Shocking. So looking at the club vision then, has anything changed for the coming season? So the end of next season, they're expecting us to qualify for the Champions League again, but that is it. Nothing has changed. We still just want to be recognised as the best of the rest. So there we go then, guys. What we're going to do now is we're going to move forward into the start of Season 2. We're going to go through our transfer window where we've got plenty of money to spend. And hopefully we've managed to take that squad onto the next level again. Right then, guys, so Season 2 transfer window down. Done some good business in this one, you know. We've spent a bit of money. When we look at the finances, we've got £43 million still to spend. Wage budget wise, we're now under about 50k under the wage budget. We're now spending 1.1 million now. And now in the overall balance is 97 million. As you can see, profit and loss this month is 4.5 million, and total for the season is minus 14 million. But we have now started a little bit later in the season. It's now the 17th of August, as I needed to get some deals over the line. But talking about players that have left, Djibril Sidibe has gone. Now, he's 30-year-old. Yes, he played 30 times for his last season, 5 assists. We got £5 million for him. He was in his last season of his contract. Decent player, don't get me wrong. Very all-round. He can play both left and right back, but it was time to move him on. Antonio Barreca, a player that was on loan last season at Lecce, played 37 times for them last season, didn't really do anything for us and was never going to feature, so we let him go. Ismail Jacobs, a player that we spent loads of money on, so we bought him last season for 5.5 million. That was before I took over, and I've sold him to Verona for 3.4 million. Now, he's got quite decent stats for what he'd done for his last season. 19 games, 4 goals, 5 assists. But again, he's never really going to feature. He's not even that good, and he's not going to develop to the way that I want him. See, you can see here, my scout summary is a C-, so to get money for him, I was happy with. Jean Lucas was another player to leave then, so he was with us last season. £9.5 million we spent on him. Again, it was before I took over, but 19 times he played last season, and we sold him for 2.5 million. He's gone back to Brazil, he's gone to Grêmio, and again, he's an all-round player. 24-year-old, sits in the centre of midfield, but he's not good enough. If I'm wanting to develop this team to challenge PSG, he's not the player that I want in the centre of my midfield. But the big out for this season was Kevin Volland. Now, he's a quality player, mentally and physically incredible. Technically, he's alright as well. But we sold him to Benfica for £43 million. He played 31 times for us, scored 14 goals, 11 assists. Played 1 game for us this season, got a 6.5. But he's gone to Benfica where he scored 4 times in 2 games. So he's a proven goal scorer. But the player that I've brought him to replace him is an upgrade and is much younger. So we might as well start with this player then. So this is why I've started later on in the season. Like I say, we've had 3 games in the league already, as I was waiting to get this deal over the line. So Dusan Vlahovic has joined us, and he spent big money on him, £70 million on a player that last season played 38 times, scored 13 goals, but he'd already played 4 times this season for Fiorentina as well, and scored 2 goals. Now he's currently valued at £177 million to 202. Got to be loving that. If I can sell him for £170 million, that is a great piece of business. But when you look at him already, he's 22-year-old, capped 17 times by Serbia, finishing 17, balance 16, strength 18, composure 15, penalty taken 16, work rate 16, across the board. At 22-year-old, this guy is going to be a world beater. Another player through the door then is a Frenchman, capped 45 times with 2 goals, Benjamin Pavard. Now he can play centre-back, but I've brought him out predominantly to play as a right-back. We bought him for 34 million from Bayern Munich, played 24 times for them last season. Only played once for them last season and was transfer listed, and I'm happy to get this guy in. His best years are ahead of him, a 26-year-old, like I say. Mentally very good, physically good, and technically alright. Marking and tackling 14 and 15, heading up there as well. But I'm not going to play him as a centre-back, like I say. He'll play out on that right-hand side. Then we start to get to the free transfer, so I've brought in Jeremy Boga. Now he joined us from Sassuolo on a free transfer, played 3 times for us already this season, scored 1 goal. Last season though in Serie A he played 35 times, scored 6 times, 3 assists, and a free transfer for a guy that is absolutely rapid. Acceleration 17, pace 16. And going to play as a left winger, dribbling 18 as well, crossing could be a bit better at 11, technique 17, now passing 14. So Jeremy Boga out on that left hand side is going to cause all kinds of trouble, fingers crossed anyway, this season. And lastly, we've brought in another free transfer, a 23-year-old Dan Axel Zagadou. Now, I can't believe this guy's gone on a free transfer from Dortmund after leaving PSG actually on a free. He played 16 times in the Bundesliga last season. He's played 3 times for us already, and he's got 2 player-of-the-match performances. What a guy. This guy again, left-footed worries me as Ballistix is also left-footed, so I've got 2 left-footed centre-backs. However, he can play out on that left-hand side if I did want him to, but probably not going to play him there. But yeah, very good player, currently valued up to 60 million as well. And like I say, free transfer, bargain. So looking at the dynamics of the squad then, we've got team cohesion very good, club atmosphere good, and my geo support's very good. I've still got loads of players that want better deals. I am in the process of sorting them out, but I don't know if everybody will get the one that they're after. Looking at my players and supporters, and I've got 11 players and supporters, 9 players that have no real opinion. My team leaders are now Ben Yedder, Golovin and Martins, buzzing, because I only had Ben Yedder at one point. And then tactically, my best 11 looks like this. So Alte in goal, Henrique, Badiashile, Zagadou and Pavard. With Golovin and Chouameni in the middle. Boga and Martins out wide. With Ben Yedder and Vlahovic leading the line up front. Again, we're just going to play that attacking tiki-taka. But yeah, we should be scoring plenty of goals with it. So competitions-wise then, obviously we're in Ligue 1, the Champions League, the French Cup and the Trophée des Champions, which we lost. We lost that, obviously in the final, there's only one round of it, against PSG where we lost 2-0. Now PSG winds me up, as when you look at the players they've brought in, Erling Haaland, this guy follows me around. I can do a rebuild in England and he'll join Liverpool and Manchester City. I can do a rebuild in Spain and he goes to Real Madrid. You know, this guy, I just cannot get rid of him. And I thought with Mbappe leaving, I'd have a chance, and then they've brought in Haaland. Look at him. He's an absolute machine. Yes, they did spend big money on him, £121 million. He's played 3 games, scored 2 goals. Expect him to score 40-odd goals this season. But when you look at their squad, look at their starting 11. Neymar, Messi and Haaland as the 3. What do you do with that? Sergio Ramos has scored 4 goals already as well. Honestly, so yes, that we've lost that cup already. But finally, looking at the season preview then, we're expected a second place finish again, 5-1, obviously PSG favourites to win. But we have got a player in the Media Dream 11 again. Ben Yedder was the striker last time round, he's lost his position to Haaland. But Golovin, behind him, is the player there, and this guy's valued up to 172 million as well. What I will say when we look at the squad is the valuations of the players are absolutely shocking. Vlahovic, 202 million. Golovin, 172 million. Pavard, who I've just brought in, 73 million pounds. Can't really trust those valuations, but it's nice if you could reach that. Like Volland was valued at 100 million pound, and we ended up selling him for what, 40 odd million. So, you know, those valuations are quite off. But there you go then, guys. So we're going to start the season. Let's just have a quick look at the league then. So we've played 3 games, we've won 3 games, we've got 9 points on the board. So a fantastic start. Obviously PSG topped the league. You know, 10 goals scored, none conceded. But that's quite scary with the season that we're going to have. So what we're going to do then, guys, is we're going to simulate forward to the end of Season 2. Well, hopefully we've put up another good fight. And you never know, we've dethroned PSG. Right then, guys, Season 2 is done. And as you can see, finished in 2nd place again. 96 points on the board. France has got to be the only league, surely, where you can get 96 points on the board consistently as well. You know, we've had 90 plus points every season and still finishing 2nd. PSG with 101 points as well. Let's just have a look at this league table. As PSG, though, lost 3 games this season. Who did they lose against? So they lost against Nice, Lille, and against us. We beat them 4-1. Absolutely smashed them. But yeah, we played 38 games, won 30, drew 6, lost 2. Only 2 defeats all season. Did we lose the other game to PSG? No. So we didn't even lose to PSG this season. We scored 122 goals, 33 conceded, which is, I'm sure that's an improvement on last season. We'll have a look in a moment. Plus 89 goal difference, 96 points on the board. So last season then, we managed 90 points. We've improved that. 118 goals, conceded 44. So we've actually scored more goals and conceded less. So we're definitely on the right track. Let's have a look at those past positions then, which are probably going to be the same as last season. We had a top spot. We ended up being in top spot for a couple of games with a 3-0 victory over Metz and then a 4-0 victory over Stade Brestois. So not a bad season. We managed to get into top spot. Yes, it was only for a couple of games, but PSG are just so dominant. Now, this is the thing that's going to wind me up. Watch Erling Haaland scored about 50 goals this season. And he has as well. Erling Haaland, 44 goals in 45 appearances. He's injured though. He's out for 2 to 4 months with a broken lower leg. That makes no difference. He'll be back in time for the start of the season. Let's just have a look at the player stats. As Erling Haaland, top goal scorer in the league with 35 goals. Moussa Dembele with 29. Now that's 2 seasons he's been up there. 26-year-old, 29 goals this season, 28 the season before. How much is he valued at? Only 28 million and he's wanted. We might bring him in, you know, as Chelsea, Liverpool and Tottenham are all after him. If we can get Moussa Dembele in, we're going to bring him in this season, I think, as Ben Yedder is obviously cracking on. So Erling Haaland, like I say, has got plenty of goals. Boadu with 27 for us and Vlahovic with 26. So we are scoring goals anyway. Let's have a look at how we performed in competitions then. So, like I say, Ligue 1, 2nd place. In the Champions League, we were knocked out in the quarter-final by Manchester United, so we haven't got any further than the quarters. We won the French Cup again, though, and obviously we lost the Trophy des Champions. But let's have a look at this French Cup. We won 6-2 against Marseille in the final. Absolutely smashed them. We had 21 shots, 10 on target. Vlahovic with 2, Boadu with 2 as well. Look, we only managed 40% possession, but still ended up dominating. Finances wise then, we've got £71 million in the bank to play with this season, £80 million in the overall balance. And then just quickly looking at the squad dynamics, loads of players still want a new deal. I can live with that, but team cohesion is excellent, club atmosphere is good, and managerial support is very good as well. Anybody opposes? No, but I've got 5 players that have no real opinion, but 14 players now supporters. And then let's have a look at the overall player and team performance. As top goal scorers then, Vlahovic and Boadu both got 36 apiece in all competitions. Highest average rating was Golovin with 7.7. Most assists, Golovin with 30 assists this season. How many did he get last season? So he got 21 in the league this season, 20 in the league last season. He loves an assist. Best pass completion was Disasi with 96%. Most player of the match awards was Golovin with 8. Most yellow cards, Henrique and Aguilar with 15 apiece. And Aguilar got 2 red cards. Team stats wise then, we scored 122 goals, which is the best, but we conceded 33, which is the 3rd best. Who conceded less than us then? Lille as well with 32 goals. So third best out of those teams. Yellow cards wise, we got 79, which is the fourth worst. And red cards, we got 1, which was the third best. So there we go then, guys. We just cannot get past PSG at the minute. Erling Haaland is single-handedly wrecking this save for me. Like, everywhere he goes, in fairness, he seems to follow me from nation to nation whenever I do a rebuild. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward to the start of Season 3, where I'm going to bring in a couple of players, potentially Dembele, who we've just seen loves a goal in Ligue 1. And yeah, this has got to be the season that we beat PSG to the title. So I've gone for it again in this transfer window, as the plan is, like I say, to dethrone PSG. It's took us 2 seasons. We've come close last season, but we are relying on other teams to beat them as well, because, like, you know, we can't just win PSG home and away and expect to win the league on the back of that, because we will drop points elsewhere. That is more or less a guarantee. So we have gone out, we have spent big. When we look at the finances of the club, we've got £12 million left. However, the wage budget has took a bit of a battering. My wage budget is now 1.6 million and I'm currently spending 1.8. Overall balance is 75 million. And the profit and loss for this season is minus £23 million. So, like I say, I have took a bit of a risk, but hopefully we reap the rewards of that come the end of the season. So the first player to leave then was Pavlovic. Now, he hasn't played for us, I don't think. He was out on loan at Norwich last season where he played 25 games. The season before, yes, he played 31. That was my first season in charge. But Vigo have come in with a £3 million offer. And he was never going to feature. Yes, I probably made us a bit lighter at the back. And a 22-year-old, he could improve a lot more. But just to get him off the books now so you could spend money on somebody else was the priority. Pietro Pellegrini. Now, this is a guy that spent loads of money on £22 million in the 2017-18 season. And last season, he played 11 games for us, scored 6 goals, 3 assists, 1 player of the match informant, a decent rating at 7.38. Ligue Warsaw coming with a £3.2 million offer, 4.5 million with add-ons. And with the players that I've brought in to improve up front, Pietro's time had come and passed. And then the biggest transfer out for this season was Yusuf Fofana, who's gone to Atletico Madrid for £23 million. Now, he did play 28 times for us last season, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 player of the match performance, and he has been a regular starter with me. So he played 33 games in the first season, 28 the season after. But Atletico Madrid coming in, and again, I've improved in the midfield, so he was the player that I sacrificed to get the player that I've brought in through the door. So the first player in then was the wonder kid, Yusufa Moukoko. Now, what more do you need to say about the guy? Look at him, absolutely incredible. 18-year-old German, got him on a free transfer from Borussia Dortmund. Well, last season, he played 30 games, 7 goals, 1 assist in the Bundesliga. Now, I've got a player for the rest of the save here, let's be honest. He's only 18-year-old and he's already quality. So Moukoko and Vlahovic up front, and Boadu as well. We've got real options up front now, but this guy, currently valued at 85 million for a free transfer, winner. We then had to prove in the goalkeeping area, so Alfonso Areola has joined us on a free transfer from PSG. Probably never going to play a game, didn't play a game last season, but just needed someone to be there as the deputy. So I was talking about strengthening in midfield, and I've brought in Arthur. He joined us from Juventus for 17.25 million after they spent £64 million on him. Now, he was transferred last season as well, and I did look at him, but I thought I'd give him another year. But he only played 3 times for Juve, but that did decrease his asking price. He was valued at £35 million, and I probably would have paid that. So to get him for 17 is a bargain. Real good player, technically, mentally, physically good. When you look at that first touch, passion and technique, playing him in the midfield, potentially as a deep line playmaker, and I'd expect to see a lot from him this season. And then the big money transfer of this window was Leon Bailey joining us from Aston Villa for £44 million. Now, he played 28 games in the Premier League last season, 4 goals, 3 assists, a 7.14 rating. And his media description is an elite winger, so I've got in an elite striker in Vlahovic, and I've got in an elite winger with Leon Bailey. Now, he can play out on that left and right hand side, which gives me that added versatility as well. When we look at his crossing and dribbling, 14 and 16, he's an absolute speed merchant with acceleration 17 and pace 18. So another really strong addition to the squad. So when we look at my starting 11, then we're going to stick with the 4-2-4 with Alti in goal, Henrique, Zagadou, Balishahil and Pavard at the back, with Arthur and Chouameni in the midfield, Bogan and Bailey out wide, with Vlahovic and Moukoko now up front. What a team that is. Competitions-wise then, we've got the Ligue 1, the Champions League, the French Cup and the Trophy des Champions, which we haven't played yet, but obviously against PSG again. And then looking at the season preview, we still are expected a second place finish. I don't think that'll ever change throughout this save. But now in the Media Dream 11, we've got Zagadou, Boadu, Golovin and Vlahovic. So 4 players now edging the way in. It's a 2-team Dream 11, let's be honest, with Donnarumma, Ramos, Bastoni, Hakimi, Messi, Pellegrini and Neymar in there. They're moving Messi down into midfield now, I see. Is he still a quality player though? 36-year-old, look at those attributes. How has he got on for them? So last season he scored 15 goals and the season before that. So, you know, you expect another 10 this season. So that is it then, guys. We're going to move forward to the end of season 3, where we are absolutely praying, I am certainly praying for Haaland to be out for another 6 months. That'd be fantastic because he is single-handedly ruining his save for us. I'd like another bit of silverware. I'd like to push even further in the Champions League. And obviously, we need to win Ligue 1. Right then, guys, so we are back at the end of Season 3, and as you can see above us, it's Monaco against Manchester United in the Champions League final. Now, we're at Wembley, so we're off to England. That's basically a home game for Manchester United. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate that one day, and hopefully at the end of it, we are champions of Europe. As it would be great to just get our hands on that Champions League crown before PSG, you know, beating them to it, as they are still obviously the dominant force in France. Let's have a look then at that result. And we end up winning 2-1 against Manchester United in the final. So we are now European champions 3 seasons. In Goretzka with a goal for them on 17 minutes before, Boadu on 44. And then Diatta on 105 minutes gets us the win in extra time. It was an even game, you can see there. We had 12 shots, 9 on target, 51% possession. They had 18 and 9. But let's see the goal that won us it. Right, come on. Want to be an absolute screamer, Vlahovic. And Diatta's there. I don't care. It's not a scream. We're 105 minutes. We take the lead to win 2-1. And like I say, we have pipped PSG to that Champions League glory. And looking at it, we've also won the league with 90 points on the board. How was that? We've only lost 2 games. 29 games won, 3 draws, 2 losses, 103 goals scored, 30 conceded, 73 goal difference. How have we only got 90 points? So surely we should be close to 100 points. That's no worse than PSG the season before. So PSG... But they played 38 games, we've played 34. They're down to 18 teams. What's occurring here? Has something happened? Does something happen in League 1? Is that scheduled? Is that planned in the future, in real life? Let me know in the comments. There's only 18 teams in the league this season. And the season before that, 4 were relegated. I'm surprised I missed that, in fairness. But yeah, let me know. League 1, is it going down to 18 teams? As it looks unlikely that we're ever going to hit the 100 points. But we lost 2 games this season. Who did we lose against? Strasbourg 1-0 and Lille 2-0. Lost to Strasbourg. That is shocking. Looking at the past positions, then we've basically been in top spot since day 1. PSG, then I'm assuming, have just been following us. Yeah, they were actually down to 3rd when they drew 1-1 with Strasbourg. So Strasbourg were the team that beat me as well. So there you go. So looking at the finances then, we've got £73 million in the overall balance, £39 million to play with next season. We've just won the Champions League and we've just won Ligue 1, and that's all we're getting. We're only getting 75% of transfer revenue as well, so something's obviously going on then. As last season, we lost £25 million. Wage budget though is £2.3 million, so I've got £500k to spend on wages should I need to. Dynamics though have got to be incredible, as team cohesion, club atmosphere and manager support are all excellent and very good. I've got players that want to leave, that's just down to contracts, and wanting better player time. Yassin Ben Yedder will be leaving us, his contract is set to expire. He's been a decent servant for us. He didn't play a game for us this season though, so as you can tell it was time to move him on. Top influencers wise then, I've got no players that oppose us, 15 players that support us and 6 players that have no real opinion. But what about player stats and team stats wise then? So Vlahovic got 40 goals this season. Who was the top goal scorer in the league? Dembele with 40 goals. He was 11 goals clear of Vlahovic in second. Where was Erling Haaland? He got 21. Boadu got 20. Lukaku got 19. What about assists? Diop got 19 with Enrique 14 and Golovin 14. So he created plenty of chances that led to goals. But looking back at those player stats then, Vlahovic had the highest average rating at 7.66. Most assists was Diop with 21. Best pass completion was Zagadou with 95%. Most player of the match awards was Vlahovic with 10. Most yellow cards Pavard with 12, and red cards was Meni and Aguilar with 1 apiece. Team stats wise then, he's got 103 goals, which is the best. We conceded 30, which is the second best. Yellow cards wise, 48, which is the 6th best, and 2 red cards was the 8th worst. So there you go then. So looking at competitions overall, in the French Cup we were knocked out in the 11th round by Marseille, but we did win the Trophy des Champions 3-0 against PSG, absolutely battered them. And when we look at our performance in that one, we were actually the better side. 17 shots, 8 on target, but we only had 41% possession. Bailey with a goal on his debut on 45 minutes, and Makoko on his debut as well with 2. So basically a treble this season with the Champions League, the Trophy des Champions, and Ligue 1. So next season then, can we get a quadruple? Can we win across all formats? We'll also have the World Club Cup as well, I would imagine, after winning that Champions League, and the Super Cup as well. So yes, we'll skip forward now to the start of Season 4, where we'll have a relatively quiet transfer window, I'd imagine. We haven't got a lot of money to spend, and there's not too many players that I want to be moving on now. So yes, join me for the start of Season 4 after the break. Right then, so we're back for the start of Season 4, and I said we weren't going to have much turnaround as far as players go. We have had some players leave. Some offers were too good to refuse, if I'm completely honest, for the players that were on the fringe of the squad, and we have done another big signing again. So looking at the finances, then I've got £4 million in transfer budget. Obviously, like I said, I was only getting 75% of the transfer revenue coming back in. Wage budget wise, we're allowed just over 2 million and we're spending just over 2 million. Overall balance is 95 million. This season, we've made a loss of 3.8 million, but I'm sure we'll recoup that back. And transfers wise, and the first player to leave us was Alphonse Areola. Now he left for 6.5 million, went to Al Zahira, and he's already played 8 games and conceded 7. Now, he went for 6.5 million after we brought him in last season on a free transfer. So to get some money for him, a player who's my backup goalkeeper, I'm just happy to get some funds in, if I'm honest. We then let Ruben Aguilar go, so he went off to Shakhtar Donetsk for £10 million. Played 24 times for his last season, a 6.88 rating. Decent player, but now 31-year-old. French, fully capped, but again, £10 million for a player that's now 31. I was happy to get that deal over the line. Gelson Martins then, so the 29-year-old Portuguese international, has gone off to Valencia for £15 million. Now, he only played 5 times for us and scored 1 goal last season. The season before, he played 30 times for us. So he'd barely coming in. Obviously, he fell out of favour. And £15 million, I'm happy to take it. Another player that suffered from Leon Bailey coming in was Jeremy Boga. So he has gone off to Leicester for £24 million. Again, we got him on a free transfer, and £24 million coming back in is massive. So he played 24 times in the first season. Second season, he made 6 starts, no goals, no assists, no player of match performance, and a 6.48 rating. So we transfer listed him. Leicester coming in, £24 million, happy to take. And finally, Axel Disasi. Now, he was a player that I didn't really know too much of and was a very good squad player. So we sold him for £13 million to Benfica. 5 starters last season. Centre-back options. We've got Balashahil, Zagadou in there as well. So Disasi's gone off to Benfica. So coming in then, the first player I've brought in is Omar Bayaz. Now he can play behind the strikers or in the midfield, but I've let him go back out on loan to Stuttgart, where I brought him in for 3.5 million. Now last season he played 21 games in the Bundesliga, yes, a 6.68 rating, and he's actually a player that we may never see play for the club. Like I say, he's out on loan this season, and next season he may go out again. And I just wanted to add a bit of younger talent to the squad, so Bayaz coming in. Now, looking at the squad options, I've brought in Marashash Kumbula. Now, technically, he's absolutely awful, apart from the attributes that I would want in a central defender. Heading, mark and tackling, all very good. Mentally, he's okay. Physically, he's fine. Like I say, going to be a fringe player. But as you can see down here, he's played in 4 friendlies and scored 3 goals. So, he may be a decent option from set pieces. But yeah, 24-year-old Albanian coming in from Roma, 4.6 million after he played 7 times in Serie A last season. I'll take him. That's a decent deal for me. Another player coming through the door is Mads Roeslev. Now, if you've seen my Bottom of Christmas series, this guy does an alright job at Brentford. It is available for 1.5 million. Now, it does obviously worry us that he was at Brentford last season, played 4 games, couldn't even get into the starting 11. He's not a great player, I'm not going to lie. He's all-rounded. I've let better players go for less money than what I paid for him. But 25-year-old Dane, not even fully capped, just a depth option out on that right-hand side. And another option that I wanted to bring in defensively was Victor Nelson. So, he's a 25-year-old Danish international, 20 caps already. And I brought him in for 11.75 million from Inter. He only played 5 games until last season. Then they were looking to recoup some of the losses from cashing in on him last season. They lost £5 million on him. However, he's decent for me. Playing as a centre-back option, heading, mark and tackling. All right, strength at 16. And he's 6'1". So, I'd expect to see some games out of him this season. Another good cover option. With Areola going, then we've brought in Alessio Cragno, so 30-year-old Italian, capped twice, and we brought him in for 5.75 million, where he was at Cagliari last season, 38 games, 42 conceded, but he's a consistent starter and will naturally have been their number 1. That is good for me. Goalkeeping attributes, handling, one-on-ones and reflexes, all 16. He's 6 foot, so a little bit on the short side for a goalkeeper, but 30-year-old is now in his prime, will be second fiddle to Alte Binder, who obviously we brought in as my number 1. And then the big money was brought in on Dani Olmo, so he can play behind the striker, the free behind the striker, and also in midfield. So we're bringing him in predominantly to play in midfield, but he can feature out in the wide areas as well. We spent £64 million on him from RB Leipzig. He played 31 times last season, 8 goals, 12 assists, a 7.31 rating. He's pretty solid on his ratings as well, and he's a very good addition to the squad. Technically awesome, mentally gifted, physically could be a little bit better. That's the only area I think for me. Natural fitness 13. Strength, he could get muscled off the ball, but acceleration and pace, okay for the position that I'm wanting to play in. So £64 million, while it may be on the high side, is a very good addition to my central midfield. And when we look at the dynamics then, cohesion, atmosphere and managerial support is all very good. As far as top influencers go then, I've got no players that oppose us, 17 players that support us and 4 players that have no real opinion of us. And looking at the season preview, we've now dropped down to a 3rd place finish. That's the expectation. Anyway, 9-2, with Leon jumping into 2nd place, PSG favourites again. But we have got 3 players in the Media Dream 11, Henrique, Zagadou and Golovin. Gomez, he isn't one of ours. Where's he from? From Leon. So there we go then, guys. A 3rd place finish is the expectation this season after winning the league last season and the Champions League. Now, what more do we need to do? So yeah, let's go into season 4, where I want a repeat performance from last season, obviously with the integration of these new players. Right then, guys, so we're back at the end of season 4, and as you can see, we've absolutely dominated the league again. I say we've dominated the league. We're only 7 points clear of PSG, finishing 2nd place, but 34 games played, 31 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. Who was that to Reims. So we've beat PSG home and away again. 121 goals scored though, 27 conceded. When you look at PSG's 19, it's still an area that we need to improve in. However, you know, we are dominating going forward, so I don't mind conceding in the grand scheme of things. You know, if we're scoring 121 goals a season, it doesn't really matter if you concede 27. And a goal difference of plus 94, that's 30 goals better than PSG. But yeah, 95 points on the board. And in fairness, we lost that game there, so we were more or less invincible all season. That game against Reims where we got beat 3-0, that was the second to last game of the season anyway. So looking at the past positions then, we basically sat in 1st spot from match day 2. PSG were all over the place up until what match day is this? Match day 16, where they won Stade de Reims 2-1, which is fair enough. So yeah, 2 seasons on the trot, we've basically sat at top of the league. Finances wise then, we've got £63 million to play with in our last transfer window. We've got £62 million in the overall balance. Our balance has taken a bit of a beating since I've been in charge, I will be honest. And wage budget wise, we've got £2.6 million to spend, and we're currently spending £2 million. But with our finances taking a battering, it's worth looking at how we performed in the competitions again. So obviously we won the Ligue 1, 95 points on the board. We didn't make it to the final of the Champions League, so it's Barca against Juve. Let's have a look. Did we get to the semis? No. God, did we go out before that? So we went out in the quarterfinals. We actually drew 4-4 and went out on penalties to Barca. We got smashed at home. They had 30 shots, 18 on target. Yeah, we were well and truly done, as they got a goal in 86 minutes, which took it to penalties, before Golovin missed the penalty that put us out. We then finished runner-up in the Super Cup. In the French Cup, we won it, and we won the Trophy des Champions. So we won a treble this season. What happened in the Super Cup? We were beaten 3-1 by Everton, as we had 20 shots and 10 on target, 55% of the possession, and Everton scoring 3 goals. Alteon at 6.2 in goal as well, had an absolute shocker. So looking at the squad dynamics, and team cohesion very good, club atmosphere is good, and managerial support is excellent. Again, I've got players that aren't very happy, obviously wanting better deals. Anybody opposes? No. I've got 18 players to support us and only 3 players that have no real opinion of us now, and that's Bailey, Arthur and Kumbulla. Take that. And then looking at the player stats, then, so top goal scorer was Vlahovic with 43. Again, let's have a look at the player performance in the league. So Erling Haaland scored the most goals, surprise, surprise, with 36. Vlahovic with 33. Boadu with 29. How did Dembele get on? So Dembele with 20 goals this season. But yeah, Vlahovic and Boadu. How did Moukoko get on then? That is also worth looking at. So Moukoko getting 24 goals in 47 appearances, but only 14 in the league. That's 5 down from last season, but as you can see down here, 24 across all competitions, 6 in 6 in the cup. But then most assists, Golovin with 26. He absolutely loves an assist. Let's have a look at him again. 16 in the league, but 26 in all competitions. Best pass completion was Kumbulla with 95%. Most player of the match awards was Vlahovic with 10. Most yellow cards, Henrique with 13. And Golovin and Moukoko with 1 red card each. But team stats wise, we scored 121 goals, which is the best. We conceded 27, which is the 3rd best. Yellow cards 52, which is the 6th best. And 1 red card, which was the 4th best. The average attendance, so 5th worst now. We're not the bottom as it stands. So there we go then, guys. Do we really need to do anything else going into Season 5? Do I need to spend loads of cash? Probably not. One more player, maybe a couple of squad additions just to even it out. As this last season, you know, Ligue 1 is wrapped up now. We've won every trophy that we can domestically. Can we win that Champions League again, though? 2 seasons out of 5. Right then, guys, so that's our last transfer window done. And we've done all right. I'm just going to quickly jump to the finances, as I've still got £57 million in the bank. I didn't want to go big this time, as I've spent a lot of money over these 5 seasons, and I think I've accumulated a decent enough squad not to go absolutely mental this time round. You know, we spent massive money on Vlahovic and on Dani Olmo, and I haven't gone out big this time. I've got a couple of players for £20 million, but bar that, we've not done too much. So overall balance is 95 million, transfer budget 57 million left to spend, and our wage budget is 2.6. We are just under that now at 2.5 million. And only one player is left, as Arthur has gone off to AC Milan. So we let him go for £33 million after last season. He played 18 times, only 1 assist, a 6.82 rating. Didn't play a game for us at the start of this season. But yeah, he was decent, very good. You know, we've got a bit of money off him, some funds, when we got him transfer listed a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, just got him out of the club. As I brought in 2 quality central midfielders. So Renato Sanchez is the first player through the door. 27-year-old Portuguese international with 32 caps. And I brought him in for 14.75 million after he went to Lazio for 13 million last season. Now, he played 22 times in the Serie A. Didn't exactly set the world alight. I'm not going to lie, with a 6.77 rating. Very good mentally and physically. Technically, he's not as good as I would have thought. Can sit in the centre of midfield. Can also play across the 3 behind the striker. He's not really accomplished out on that left-hand side. He's unconvincing. However, will be a central midfielder. And another player through the door is the world-class midfielder, Renato Castrovilli. Now, again, he's going to play a central midfield, but can play behind the striker as well. Technically, mentally, and physically, this guy's incredible. And we brought him in for 19.75 million from Fiorentina, where he wanted out. He was transfer listed, and we've got a steal there. So my midfield options now are incredible. So looking at my best 11, and it's going to line up like this, with Alti in goal, Henrique, Badiashile, Zagadou and Pavard at the back, Olmo and Castrovilli in the middle. It could be a combination of anyone, if I'm completely honest. Shushemi's been in there quite a bit for us the last 4 seasons anyway. And then we've got Bailey and Boadu out wide, with Mokoku and Vlahovic up front. What a team that is. We're going to stick with the 4-2-4. I am all for scoring 1 more goal in the opposition now. You know, forget those clean sheets. Let's just pummel everybody. Squad dynamics, and after a couple of changes, team cohesion is very good, club atmosphere is very good, and my support is excellent. Got a couple of players that want to leave. Nobody's going anywhere now. The door is closed for us for transfers. We are finished with that. I've got 17 players as supporters, 6 players that have no real opinion of us, and nobody has opposed us all the way through this save. Looking at the competitions for this season, now we've got the Champions League against French Cup, Trophy des Champions, that's coming up against PSG, but we are Club World Cup champions. We absolutely smashed PSG. 2 French teams in the final. We had 15 shots, 8 on target. Badiashile actually had a goal disallowed on 21. Mokoku on 29 now. And Vlahovic. My striking options, absolutely out of this world. And they deliver game after game. With Boadu playing out on that left-hand side, who can play up front as well and does score goals. This guy, for me, he's shocking. Attributes-wise, he's not good at all. However, in Ligue 1, you know, he's averaging 25 goals a season for us, 29 goals for his last season. He's a boss, an absolute boss for a player that's not that good. 24-year-old as well. So, in theory, should only get better. Technically, though, crap. And then finally, the season preview, as we are still expected to finish in 3rd place. We've just won the league title 2 times on the bounce, and still we're expected the 3rd place finish, as we've now only got 2 players in the Media Dream 11, and that's Zagadou and Mokoku. They've got Lewandowski. What is he doing? Look at him, 36-year-old at PSG. They got him on a free transfer as well after he banged in 18 goals for Real Madrid last season. How are PSG not really challenging us? Yes, they were close last season, but PSG should be running away with this league. Look at the state of it. Donnarumma, Galan, Bastoni, Kimmich. Phil Foden's there as well. How did he get on? Was he the 99 million they paid for him last season? This PSG team should be absolutely mopping the floor with us. They really should. But yeah, we've got one last season, and hopefully we can do it again against a very, very good, and we've seen a talented PSG squad. This is the last season. Realistically now, we're the best club in the world. We've got the trophy. We should really be trying to push on and win that Champions League again, and having a clean sweep of all domestic titles. Last season, can we make it happen? Right, so that's it then, guys. The end of Season 5 and the rebuild of Monaco is over. And as you can see, we've ended with a league triumph. Let's have a look at that league table. There's 96 points on the board, 13 points clear of PSG in 2nd place. Played 34, 131. We're invincible, actually. We drew 3 but didn't lose a game, so we finished the season invincible as well. 105 goals, 21 conceded, which is the best in the league, so we've done that. Plus 84 goal difference, and I'd be interested to see the past positions, as I'm assuming we're going to be sat top for the majority, yes. Majority of the time, and then PSG dropping down into second place and just couldn't catch us. So looking at our performance in the competitions, I know we can see we've won the Champions League. We've done it on penalties against Manchester United. Did we FM our way through it though? Were we the better side in this one? No, as Man United had 30 shots and 14 on target. Alte with a 9.5 rating, man of the match performance. We had 12 shots and 5 on target. We did have a goal disallowed through Vlahovic on 103 minutes, but we've won the Champions League twice in 5 seasons, and that is an achievement in itself. As we finished runner-up in the French Cup, we got battered 5-0 by PSG. Wowzers, we didn't even manage a shot on target. Kimmich with 2 goals, Foden, Hakimi and Sailmakers. We were well and truly done then. Let's just forget about that one. And the Trophy des Champions, we were the winner there as we won 4-3 against PSG. So we've had a fairly decent performance. I say fairly decent. We've had an excellent performance across all competitions. Looking at finances then, I've left the club with 87 million in overall balance, transfer budget of 67 million, and we've got a wage budget of 3.1 million. We're nowhere near that now, 600k under it. And how we look and dynamics-wise, then team cohesion is very good, club atmosphere is good, and managerial support is excellent. I've got a couple of players that are unhappy, not overly worried about that. And when we look at the support, I've got 17 players that are on my side, 3 players that have no real opinion, and nobody opposes us. And then looking at the player and team stats, Vlahovic got 52 goals this season across all competitions, 30 in the league, you can see there. That wasn't as good as last season though, but 52 in all competitions. What an achievement that is. But again, it'd be interesting to see how he got on in comparison to other players. So Erling Haaland got 34 goals in the league. Most assists, Leon Bailey got 14, so did Xavi Galan. Fewest conceded though, Bayinda with 20. Most clean sheets, Bayinda again with 15, but then Donnarumma with 16 beat us to it. But then looking at the highest average rating, Vlahovic with a 7.71. Most assists, Diop 27 assists for him. Best pass completion was Nelson with 96%. Most player of the match awards, Vlahovic with 10. Most yellow cards, Pavard with 17, and most red cards, there's a few players getting them. But when we look at the team stats, we scored 105 goals, which is the best, and we conceded 21, which is the best. So we're the best in both categories there. Yellow cards, 60, which was the 7th worst, and 3 red cards, which was the 4th worst. We've now got a 7th worst average attendance. So we're moving on up with that attendance anyway. So just having a look at the squad overall, and for goals, Vlahovic got 52, Moukoko got 36, Boadu got 36, Goebbels got 13, Leon Bailey with 11. What about assists then? As you can see, Diop got 27, Leon Bailey with 20, Moukoko with 19, Pavard with 14, Golovin only got 10 this season, which isn't great for him, but overall, very good team performance all around. When we're looking at the player value, Moukoko's now valued at 227 million. Get cashing in on him. That's what I'd be doing if I was coming in as the next manager. So there we go then. Let's have a look at my accolades. So running through it then, I was taken on in 2021 as the manager of Monaco. In the first season, we won the French Cup. The second season, we were the Trophy des Champions winners and the French Cup again. Third season in, Trophy des Champions winners. We won the Champions League and the Ligue 1 as well. We had a really good season there. We get the season after, so season number 4, we won the Trophy des Champions again. We then become Club World Cup champions, win Ligue 1 and the French Cup. And then in my last season, we went unbeaten in the league, were European champions and won Ligue 1 as well. So absolutely fantastic performance from us. And then looking at my overall stats, we brought in 17 players for a total of 318 million, and we sold 56 players for 220 million. And I did take a risk with the finances. However, the highest fee spent was 70 million for Vlahovic, and he has paid that back in double at least. And my highest fee received was 43 million for Volland. How did he get on in the end? See, he's still scoring goals for fun in the Portuguese Premier League, so he was money well spent for them as well, 43 million. So that's it then, guys. What a rebuild. We've managed to topple PSG, and we've managed to win the Champions League before PSG as well. So I was going to say money doesn't count for everything, but we have spent some serious dollar throughout this save. So yes, thank you very much for watching. If you have liked the episode, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, as it would mean a lot. Thank you for taking your time watching me rebuild Monaco. Stay safe, and I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.